Welcome to Cigar City Radio, episode number 48. I'm your host, Randy Ojeda, and making the magic happen, Mr. Jason Solanes.
You know, Randy, I just had this lemon drink, and it's so tasty that I don't even care if the opening is rigid. I would.
You went a little like Randy Macho Man on that. It was so
good.
tasty.
The cane.
We're also joined today by our brand new intern, Christopher Can. Can you be our intern? You can.
I most certainly can, yeah.
What if he can't?
That won't happen. I definitely can. Con.
Chris, why would you want to intern for us? I don't even understand.
Great track record.
Do we?
Yeah.
Solid team.
It's impeccable.
Great track record. A lot of yards this season.
He's gonna quit by like week 2. I guarantee it. No, I'm kidding.
That's about it.
Yeah. Welcome to the team, Chris. If you see him online, make fun of him for us. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that one of our favorite music services is Spotify. Not our only favorite. We have lots of favorites. Shout out Tidal. But we do love Spotify, and we are on Spotify. So if you are also on Spotify, you should follow our user account, Cigar City MGMT, on the service. We have a number of public playlists where we can help you discover new music, new tunes, and also follow along with this podcast. So you can start with the Cigar City Radio Companion playlist, which features all of the music heard and discussed on this show. You can follow the Tampa Mixtape, which features some of our favorite independent and major bands from the Tampa area. And you can follow our 2017 New Music playlist, which features our top picks in the world of new music from every genre, no matter how popular or how underground. And lastly, you can follow our Cigar City MGMT Popular Tracks playlist, which features popular tracks from the Cigar City MGMT family. How about that? And you can also follow my 90s and 80s playlists, which are kind of fun. The 90s one is called Now That's What I Call 90s. You'll dig it.
The episode you're about to listen was recorded at the world-famous Blind Tiger Cafe in the heart of Ybor City, Tampa, Florida. The Blind Tiger Cafe is a speakeasy-inspired coffee house. We serve vegan pastries, coffee, tea, beer, kombucha, etc., etc., etc.
Our guests on this episode are the Rock'n'Roll HiFives, the first family of rock. And they're still in the room because we can't get rid of them. We're part of the family now.
That's right.
Yeah, you are.
We don't leave.
We kidnapped you. We're the Rock'n'Roll HiFives, and you're listening to Cigar City Radio with Jason and Randy in the Rock'n'Roll city of Ybor. Ybor, is it?
Yeah, Ybor.
Oh, damn. In the Rock'n'Roll city of Ybor in Tampa, Florida. Come on and rock and roll with us. Grab a partner. Let's do it.
So here it is, episode number 48. So while many families this summer are heading to Disney World or taking a trip to the Grand Canyon or something, the Centeno family is touring. Mm-hmm. You are touring and playing music together as a family.
Correct.
That's right.
So let's start at the beginning, I guess, which starts with you, Joe. So you used to be in a band, and then you had a family. And you had to figure out how you were going to balance those two things.
Right.
So how did that happen?
So yeah, when I was in the band, we were on tour. I was always like in a band that was on really liked to tour a lot. So we were always touring a lot. And when Glory told me she was pregnant, I kind of just realized that those days were over, the touring and music. Came home from tour. We had Eileen, our firstborn, and I was like, okay, yeah, I got to be a dad and be responsible, but still fun. I still loved playing and, loved writing. I couldn't stop doing that. So I was continuously doing that. And I play with some bands here and there, just like fill in guitar and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the writing became just a thing. So we started writing lots of songs together as she got older. I was like, hey, can you put lyrics to this? And, can you play a tambourine or a flute or anything? Just give her stuff. I wouldn't even tell her how to do it. And then we were just writing songs together and then performing. And she was always the performer and liked doing it.
So how old were you at this point? When this
Like 2 or 3.
You were like 2 or 3?
Yeah. Dad bought me a drum set for like Christmas, I think, when I was 2, and obviously I couldn't play it, and he wanted me to be the drummer, but I was so bad. Obviously I was 2, and then I just kind of wanted to like play with them like as just a toy, not really an instrument. So we kind of gave up on that and just tried like singing. And
she would move them around around the room. So like, this drum needs to be here, and I'm like, hon, you can't reach the drum from there, And so so I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. Hey, try this tambourine or singing. Give her a microphone, and then put some echoes and delays on there, and then that took it to a whole nother level of the singing part.
Dad made like a mini documentary on that, and she's kind of just like playing, and she's like, oh, I came upstairs and it was really dirty, so I had to clean it. So she's playing the drums, and then it just pans to me like playing like with the tractor and stuff, and that's what it started out as. But it was fun,
Yeah.
So Eiley and Evan are 2 years apart. So when Eiley was trying to become a drummer at 3, Evan was a year and just kind of in the background.
Yeah. While I was trying to drum, I was trying to walk.
It's you definitely have to master walking before you can play drums.
That'll help.
So at what point was it where the band sort of became formed? Was
the band?
Was it when they turned 4 and 5? Was that it?
Well, we tried it when everyone was like 4, actually, right?
Yeah, we did do some. Yeah,
we tried it and it did not go anywhere.
Yeah,
because I don't know if you guys know anything about young kids. They have like an attention span of 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's us
seconds.
Too, so
you can't teach a child an instrument and in that much time. It just doesn't happen. So we tried it. We fooled around a little bit, and then it went to sleep for a few years.
Yeah, but you know what? The name of Rock'n'Roll HiFives was always there. Like when Eiley was young, I was like, when we started doing this, I was like, what's the name of our band? And she was like, rock and roll, and she held up the horns, and she goes, and then she held up the high five, high fives. She's like, Rock'n'Roll HiFives, and I'm like, that is an incredible name. I'm like, can you draw it? And she made the logo, drew.
Yeah, we had like shirts, we would like iron on, the shirts. Yeah, we would do that.
We would make shirts, But so Glory said that it went to sleep a little bit, and then
everyone was about 8.
Yeah, everyone was about 8, and I was like, hey, how about you try those drums? And he was like, sure, this, and he just had the beat, man, and I was just like, whoa, dude, keep going. I plugged in my guitar, and
it was total like a School of Rock moment when he's like pulling like equipment out of the closet. That was like Dad like taking his equipment out of the closet, getting all excited.
Well, Dad bought a drum set for when his drummer friends would come over so they could play, like a actual big size drum set, because their old drum set that Eiley was using was like one of those like little tykes. But Dad bought a real drum set. And one day he was just like, hey, Everett, go down there and try it. And I guess I had a natural feel. So.
Yeah, and he could keep time.
Which is very helpful.
Yeah.
You got to have at least one person that can keep time. The drummer is a good person to keep time.
He could tell like that he could do it. That he was like able.
So. I was like, this is going to go good, And then Eiley came down and started singing, and then Mom was like, well, what am I going to do? And then for her birthday, we bought her a bass. And Glory's never played any instrument before, anything.
Not even a triangle. Like nothing.
And so we, for her birthday, we bought her a bass, and we put it under a light down in the basement. We're like, ta-da, She comes walking downstairs, and we're like, happy birthday. And she's like, she started crying. She started tearing up. And I'm like, well, let us.
Crying. Mom's always crying.
Well, let us know if you really like this or are going to do this or commit to doing this, because we have 30 days to return the bass,
Yeah. So
and,
3 years later.
Yeah.
We bought an RV, and now now we're cruising the country.
Yeah.
Now we're having problems with our RV.
Well, you wouldn't be a band if you weren't having problems with your vehicle.
That's right. I know.
That's true.
It's very true.
So you grew from, basically a father-daughter duo to a full band.
Yeah.
And then it's not you definitely sound more like guided by voices or something than the Partridge Family,
Yeah.
So where did
we are excited to hear that.
So where did the musical style come from? Do you feel like it's from you, or do you guys have more of an influence on it? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's definitely from Dad. I mean, that's what Dad likes. And growing up, while he's playing that, growing up, we've developed, we like the music too because, Dad always played it in the car and stuff. So, yeah, it definitely came from Dad and Mom because they love that music.
When we would drive around in the car, I would play songs and go through the stations, and I'm totally open to whatever you want to listen to.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what is your flavor? 2 years old, I'd go through a song, and everyone would be in the back, it would be like social distortion or something. He'd be like thumbs up, and AC/DC, Metallica would always thumbs up, anything.
Journey.
Else,
Thumbs down.
Yeah, no, I seriously though, it would be weak stuff where you'd be he'd go down. So I was like, man, this kid's a rocker. There's no stopping this kid, And Eileen, she liked pop and everything. She liked pop, but when I was giving her the mic to sing, she was just wow, this energy and feistiness came. I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Where have you been hiding that? Right?
Yeah. So you'd put
She
her
never
on,
hit it, actually. Since 2 years old, she's been doing
When she was
that.
born, the nurse was just oh, child, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
This one's tough, and she really is. She has her way, and she just does it. So when we seen that and heard that, we were like, okay, she has a voice.
But as far as music, we don't stop them from listening to stuff. They know all of whatever their peers know, pop music and stuff, but they don't choose to listen to it. There's some I know they who do you guys like? Oh my gosh, I sound like such a mom. Not Pharrell. Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
No, I knew it was
he's one of the more pop stars that I can respect. His music is actually pretty good.
Right. Yeah. So they listen to stuff that their peers listen to, but
Not very frequently.
but not frequently. Yeah. So it's not like we're you can only listen to GBV. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's most parents are saying rock and roll's, the devil's music, and you can't listen to that at all.
Right,
but you guys are the opposite. It's no, you should be listening to rock and roll.
Totally.
We definitely wanted to give a little spin on that, make it positive, just hey, rock and roll could be positive and family friendly and fun. We chose not to write songs about rainbows or candy or
dinosaurs.
Yeah, but I also don't want to write or sing about that.
Well, rainbows are cool, like Ronnie James Dio.
Oh yeah,
about
come
rainbows.
on.
Sure,
Yeah. Wait a second now.
Wait a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Take that all back.
Let's take that all back. Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, rainbows can be cool.
Yeah, rainbows can be cool.
Totally cool.
But I guess gumballs, maybe. Just say something odd. I don't know, cotton candy. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure we didn't write about that and wrote real rock and roll songs, and people would be more blown away by this band is actually a band.
Yeah.
Than they're a family band, because a lot of times they're a family band, but then people go, I can't even say you're a family band. I have to say you're a band, and I'd be like, wow, that's where we wanted to take this, and we did it. So
because it shouldn't be a gimmick. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
I mean, the music comes first, and when you hear your music and you see the videos, you can tell that you guys are actually playing.
When it first started out, now looking back onto pictures and videos, we're like, oh my God, we were horrible. So at that time, it was kind of oh, this is cute. But now after progressing, writing better songs, and everyone growing, being better with their instruments, it sounds better. But at first, it definitely was, oh, this is so sweet, a family band. And now people are like, oh, you guys are actually a band now.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
yeah.
Super cool.
That's kind of the story of our first show. It was kind of oh, that's cute. We played Jersey City in a cemetery. What's the cemetery called?
Oh yeah,
the Jersey City Haramis Cemetery. Yes.
So,
they had the goat stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pushing up the daisies.
Pushing up the daisies.
Right
into the mic.
Spring. It's in spring, and we were just playing, and we were just horrible. I mean, our first stuff was pretty bad, and we were messing up. And one song, we did Dead Flowers as a cover, and starting, Mom just would not move her fingers on the bass, just boom, 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 and she could not move. And Dad was like, what was the next, like, C, and she was just like, I can't do this. But
What is a C?
Dad stopped the song, and
Everyone
we
booed
did it.
him.
Yeah, everyone booed him, but we played the song again, and it was decent. You know,
It was actually great. Come on.
I mean, great for a show. But,
Hey, yeah.
but you know, like afterwards, it was like, oh, that was really good.
That was
you know?
really cute, right?
Yeah,
it was cute.
good.
Yeah,
We're a
yeah.
family band, but now we've escalated to another level, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It's great. We've been developing, evolving. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
So at what point did you meet Little Dickman Records, Amy and Chris?
Well, we met them through Cool Dad, right? We played
Okay,
their
James.
Christmas.
Yeah, Jim
Oh, yeah.
Appiah,
Oh, yeah.
Cool Dad Music.
And we played their Christmas, holiday.
Yeah, it was a holiday benefit show.
Yeah, the benefit show. And we never really talked about doing anything with a record label because we were just putting our music out for fun. But when we put out our third EP, we were playing a show in Asbury Park at the Yacht Club. And Little Dickman was there, and Dad on the stage said, "Oh, Little Dickman, we'd love to work with you on time. Put out our EP."
No
and
pressure.
they were like, yeah, no pressure, saying it on stage while we were playing. And then after, they were like, "Oh, we'd love to work with you." So it was pretty awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And they put out the EP. Let me make sure I get it right. The Beat, the Sound, the Dragon's Roar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is a great name for an EP.
Thank you. That was one song that I wrote when I was 3 years old. That we had it on video, and that was one of the first songs that I wrote, and it just said that
Yeah, just
repeatedly.
the beat, the sound.
Yeah. So when we were thinking of what should we call this, I was like, why don't we call it the Beat, the Sound, the Dragon's Roar?
It
And
took
we all liked
so
it.
long to figure out a name for that EP. We were
Oh, my
sitting
goodness.
at the dinner table, just
For hours. Just
oh my god, what should we call this? And then just all these horrible names. And then someone just said, I don't know who said it, but
I
the
did.
beat.
We have a whole list of them,
beat,
and
the
it's
sound,
that's
the dragon's
terrible.
roar.
That's awful. That's cliche.
Cliche.
We can't do
We
that.
can't do that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, too, the Beat, the Sound, the Dragon's Roar was something that Eiley said, and we had this video of the song. We made this really
Yeah.
cool video, and I was just like, why didn't we think of that? It was so simple. It was okay, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this. I love what you just said, that at the dinner table you're talking about the album name or the EP name or whatever. So is that how it works? So you just have
Yep.
band meetings at dinner time?
At dinner.
all the time.
Yeah.
Or in the living room, you just all sit on the couch.
Dinner times usually.
Yeah, dinner time's usually
Yeah.
when we talk about practice or shows or whatever's important. That's
Right.
coming up.
Whatever's coming up.
Yeah.
How often do you practice during the week?
Well, recently we've been practicing a lot since we have shows almost every weekend.
Right.
So we'll practice maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, it depends on what's coming up. And it's funny because somebody just asked us the other day, just casually, hey, how often do you guys practice? And we said, only when a show's coming up, but we've had shows every other week.
No, every
Usually
week.
every weekend.
Yeah,
every
see,
week.
so-
We played every week since I think February. I think
Yeah,
every weekend.
so we've been busy,
so.
super busy.
And we did a spring tour in that. We did
That's right.
5 shows on that spring tour, and now we're
Yeah.
doing this one. But
Six
yeah,
shows
and we did one up in New York, but we've been playing so much,
Yeah.
and
So tell us a little bit about this tour, because I've seen the footage you've been posting online, and it looks like you've been
Yeah.
having fun. You were swimming the other day.
Yeah.
At a
Yeah.
really nice pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at the RV park.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been this tour. We wanted to do a little bit more of a vacation, so we kind of called the tour Tourcation. So we do a little bit of shows and a little bit of vacation time, and so that was kind of my promise to them, because I don't want like the first summer tour we did 11 shows in the 13 days, and we kind of was a real band.
We had one day off.
One day off, yeah.
One day off in Florida.
Yeah. So it was 14 shows in 15 days.
But
or
we
something
did it
like that.
this way last summer too.
Yeah,
we
so
did
we
a
just tried to-
vacation.
We went whitewater rafting. So we try to add some fun stuff to do,
Yeah.
family fun stuff, and then some shows in between. And
Right.
that seems to be a great balance, because everybody is happy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in a band that that's not a family, it would be hard to do that. A lot of people want to go their certain separate ways. Once you get to a town, it's I had enough of you driving in the van for
Yeah,
7
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say it gives us a lot of time to drive. Yesterday, we drove all the way from Charleston here, so that was 7 hours or something like
Yeah.
that. So give us a lot of time to drive since we had nothing to do yesterday.
Yeah, right.
So that was nice. And then we just got to the RV park and it was diner, because the RV park had a diner, and then pool. So it was just we got to pack in some nice stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix.
Yeah.
Good
you know.
look.
It just sounds awesome because what we talk to a lot of touring bands on this show, and what we hear a lot is the worst part about touring is leaving your family, know, and having to be on the road by yourself. And we've had bands that have missed birthdays and births of children or something. So for you get to actually be with your family and be in the band at the same time.
Yeah, Joe used to miss my birthday all the time.
Oh no! Was it in the summer?
No, it was October. They used to tour just as school went back into session. September,
fall,
October into November. My birthday's October, and then March, April, May. So he would miss my birthday all the time.
Yeah,
We found a loophole. We found it. We're just like,
Have kids.
It's funny because I've sort of half joked, half truthed with my wife and told her all right, when we have kids, I do want to form a family band. Basically I see kids as okay, these are potential band members. This is the more kids we have, the bigger band we could have.
There you go.
So. I mean, is that on the horizon? And adding a trumpet player?
No way. Only through adoption.
Keyboard player?
Adopt.
Only through adoption.
Okay, only through adoption.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind having a keyboard player. Get that Journey sound going in.
Yeah.
There you go.
We've got lots of cousins, and
we do.
our family's huge.
Yeah,
we
the family's
have a
big.
huge
So we'll
family.
steal them.
What do they think about the band? The rest of your family?
The family?
I think they all love it. I think they all love it. They all love it. We do rock, so I'm not sure anyone really enjoys rock in our family.
I mean, Uncle Richie does.
Yeah.
Jessie does.
Jessie does.
Yeah,
and she comes to a
Yeah.
lot of shows.
My
and
sister
stuff.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, just we played Wilmington, and we were in the RV, generator on, we're just hanging out before the show, right?
in the parking lot
Lot of the bar we were gonna play, and then we get a knock on the door, and Dad was about to hop in the shower, and we think it's someone in the place, Reggie's, and we open the door, and it's Dad's second cousin, Chris, who lives all the way in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had no idea.
He went to
Was there?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, he was on a trip.
he was on a
He was just
trip.
on a
He was
road
on,
trip by
a
himself
super
and
road
his
trip.
dog.
Yeah.
And his dog trips.
Yeah.
And and he was following us on the internet, and he just surprised us. And I was just I didn't expect him at the door.
I know.
Yeah.
Who would expect somebody from Oregon to knock on your door in a
Yeah.
parking lot of a punk club in
And then
North
just-
Carolina?
So it was
Just yesterday, we were in Charleston. Or, no, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
2 days ago now, yeah. We were just in Charleston, and we met up in Charleston, too, so it's
Yeah,
really
he was
cool.
like, "Oh, I'm going to Charleston too." So we met up there and had dinner
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hung out and went walking around Charleston.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I wanted to say this when you said missing people. We are missing our dog right now.
I was just going to say,
We
our dog,
left our dog in very, very good hands with
Yeah.
our friends Mikey and Emily. Mike V's from the band The Everymen.
Okay, yeah.
And our dog Ziggy is in Chapel Hill with them because we figured it was way too hot to take him on this
Yeah.
very southern leg
Yeah.
of
and
the
he's our tour
tour.
manager, so he's always telling us what to do. So,
The dog is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
But now we're just like, what are we supposed to do here?
I know, now we're lost.
Yeah.
We don't know
Without a
what to
dog.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always sad because you'll just see we'll be in an RV park. It's dog park, and we're just
We're like,
Yeah,
oh.
you miss him.
well,
Yeah.
Well, you might miss him tonight because you're playing Skipper Smokehouse tonight, which is actually a dog-friendly venue. It's outdoors,
Wow.
so I've seen some dogs hanging out there. So you
Yeah.
might miss Ziggy
Yeah.
tonight.
yeah, we probably will.
Oh,
We
well.
definitely will.
We will.
definitely will.
Yeah.
So
more days.
So give us. So are we? Where are we in the tour? Is this the beginning? Is this the middle? Is this the end?
Yeah, this is just probably the
Middle.
almost getting to the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
We did one show in Wilmington at Reggie's, which was insane.
Yeah.
Couple hundred people, and it was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we played the next day, Winston Salem at Heyday Guitars, and we played there a bunch of times before, and it was we're really like family there now. So it's like friends. We know a lot of people, and they always barbecue every time we play there.
That sounds
so
awesome.
that was
especially because there's good barbecue in Winston.
Yeah, we
Salem.
got food, so it's nice.
Oh,
But it was it's very communal. Everybody chips in and they bring stuff, for the bands that come through. So it's very cool.
Yeah,
But
really cool.
but Heyday Guitar is awesome. It's a vintage guitar and amp shop. So if you're in Winston Salem,
used stuff.
yeah.
Get really good deals. Michael
cool.
Slaughter is awesome.
Yeah.
And then and then now we're playing here. So in between that time, we had no shows. So that was Saturday and Sunday, and then We would just went, stayed with Mike V and Emily in Chapel Hill, dropped off Ziggy, and we hung out with them. We went swimming and did some cool stuff with them. Went to go see a terrible movie.
Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky.
Oh, no.
Horrible. Yeah.
We're not allowed to say anything bad about Steven Soderbergh. So.
I know. Well, it's kind of crazy, man, because we were saying the same thing. Like, we're like, man.
We were all.
Oh, sorry.
We were
Well,
all.
his next movie is going to be even better because it's written by our friend James Greer. So,
Oh, okay, awesome.
so-
Well,
we
sorry
won't
about
give
that,
we
guys.
won't give up on him. We won't give up on him. Okay.
We were
Well,
so
we had high hopes for him.
pumped up to see the movie because it's a NASCAR movie, right?
Yeah.
And our friend Mike V is such a big NASCAR fan, and his wife is from Charlotte, and it's shot in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So we're so pumped up to see the movie, and we just left the movie. And Dad had this whole thing because he was like, "Oh, I hope Mikey." If he says he liked it, I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, the theater was nice." So
The
he doesn't-
theater was actually really cool, though. The theater was awesome because
But,
it had food, real food.
Oh, they had
Yeah,
food and
food
beer.
was
And,
awesome.
yeah.
And we left the movies, and Mikey was just like, "That movie sucked."
Wait, and then that night we went to Local 506
Right.
to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the Frights.
Right,
So that
yeah.
was cool.
Yeah,
So we
see,
saw
that
a
was cool.
touring band while we were on tour.
Yeah,
so that
that's
was
always
cool.
fun.
Yeah. We like
That
to
was a really good
support,
show.
Yeah.
definitely.
So then, so tonight in Tampa, and then Sunday we're in Naples
Okay.
at Whiskey
Whiskey Park.
Ri-
And now here we are. Yeah. So now
so
we're in
yeah,
Tampa.
so we're at like midpoint, but we've got more shows coming up now. So this is-
Whiskey Park, and then Charlotte. We're playing Lunchbox Records.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, we might stop in Atlanta. Not
oh yeah,
sure.
Atlanta. We have
Might.
something on the ground happening.
crossed.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully one of those good things happen.
And then Asbury Park.
And then Asbury
then-
Park.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Jersey
great
City.
because it's
With dentists.
Labor Day weekend. So
Yeah, that's
in
gonna be
Asbury
cool.
Park, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the closing of the summer. So that'll be fun.
It's our homecoming.
Sure. There's some really nice venues in Asbury Park.
Yeah.
We love Asbury Park.
There's some beautiful. There's that one venue that's like right on the water. I don't know.
Anchor's Bend.
Anchor's Bend, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
We're
Anchor's
playing right
Band.
over there
Yeah.
at the Asbury Park Yacht Club. Well,
Okay.
We've
It's
played
right
the
on-
convention
right on the
hall
boardwalk,
before,
yeah.
and it's above, and there's windows all around, so you look onto
yeah.
the
Convention
water,
Hall,
which is really
Stone
nice.
Pony, the Saint. Yeah.
Wonder
Asbury's
Bar.
Definitely a really good place for rock and roll.
Yeah.
Coming
Yeah.
through there.
There's
And then we're
a lot
playing
of
with
support there, too, which
we're
is
playing
really
with a
nice.
Giant Dog in Jersey City at Monty Hall, which that's going to be an awesome show.
Yeah, it's one of my
Nice, yeah.
favorite bands.
Great
so.
band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
band. I think their record came out today.
Oh,
newest
today's
one?
the 25th, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta get it.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out to Giant Dog.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon then for Rock'n'Roll HiFives? What's next? After
Well, we
this
just
tour?
recorded 4 songs, so we're figuring out what to do with them.
Yeah, maybe
so
a 7-inch or
yeah,
something
maybe a
like that.
7-inch. We're not sure, and we're not sure how many of the 4 songs we'll release.
Yeah.
So that's kind of brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is still going to be with Little Dickman, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
We love Little
We're talking to
Dick
them
Man.
about
I love
what to
Amy
do
and
with
Chris.
it. We want to do vinyl,
Yeah,
and it's like
they're
vinyl don't sell, but we're like CDs
No,
don't
I
sell
think vinyl
either.
sell
No, vinyl
more than
sells.
CDs.
People ask us all the
People,
time.
Do you have
For
vinyl?
vinyl.
Yeah. So we
They
figure if
ask.
we do a 7-inch,
Yeah.
like I don't know. This is that's how this whole thing started. Anyway,
Yeah.
we just wanted to record those original 6 songs that we wrote and put it on a vinyl so we could have it forever. And now all of a sudden we're touring, and
Yeah.
this is our
Yeah.
4th recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
wild.
but beyond that, we've got shows booked all the way now through November.
Yeah. November. Yeah.
Just doesn't stop.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like, we need to take a break because we have a lot of things going on that we need to figure out
Yeah.
for like our family.
Like Dad's I don't know.
Dad's rotary
Talk about
cuff.
that. Oh, my rotary cuff. Forget
Yeah,
about it.
let's have a deep discussion about your rotary cuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So Dad. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're throwing
There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm breaking down. Definitely.
Well,
man.
that's
No, he's
years
not.
of touring.
Dad
That's what
needs-
happens.
He's not.
Yeah.
He says he is, but he's
Turning
not.
50.
Because
As
if
he is,
you,
and then the next night he's jumping like off
Yeah.
the jump set.
I was just gonna say, if you guys are coming to Skippers tonight, you'll see.
The
And then
energy's
afterwards, I laugh because I'm like, afterwards he's gonna be like, I'm dying. I can't do this anymore. Everything hurts. And then the next night he's flying off the drum set.
We have,
know.
we have a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
You need to get like one of those like cryo tanks like the football teams do or something.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, sit in like the cold. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Come back
That'd
and
be
do
awesome.
the meet and greet, and I'm like sitting there. Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah. Then it's like, oh man, sad to see my hero like this.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, that's great.
So a couple final questions, then we'll wrap up. But I was curious. Do you see a lot of younger people like around your age coming out to the shows, or is it still? Are you just really rocking to that older crowd that loves the post punk stuff?
Yep, that older crowd. But sometimes
I don't know, but sometimes we see kids our age, and we have this one girl. She's from Wilmington. She's like 6, 7, and she comes to all of our shows in Wilmington, and she like wears our shirt and sings our songs all
That's
the time.
cute,
So
yeah.
it's
That's
really cute.
awesome.
But yeah, I think we've seen now some like older teenage kids coming around, 17, 18, 19 years old, Other than that, it's people who are definitely, in their later 20s and older who are like just looking at us like, oh my God, I want that. I want to do that,
Or people who have kids will bring their like younger kids.
Yeah, but usually the younger, like anywhere from 10 to 14, they don't really
too
dig
cool.
us too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they will, because I think like when I was a kid, my first band I started when I was like 12 or 13 years old, and it was because I saw another friend's band who they were all about the same age as us. They had a band called Squirrels Gone Wild. We were
Nice.
we were Car Full of Midgets was our band name. Thank you very much. So
Brilliant.
which like we probably wouldn't get away with now. Like,
No,
the world's
no,
too
no.
PC
Oh, no way.
now, but so I saw them perform at Skipper's of all places.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, they're our age and they're playing cool music. Like I could do this too, and I did, and that's what started me on the path of music. So maybe you guys are inspiring this 6-year-old in Wilmington to pick up instruments and play. That's
I
cool.
mean, we've heard a lot of people say like, oh, like especially drums. They're like, oh, I want to start playing drums because of Everin.
Actually, that's a really good point. Like, we'll hear the story afterwards.
Yeah,
The
sure.
parents will contact us and say, oh, my kid can't stop talking about it, or they want to emulate Eiley or Everin, but when they're there, they don't look like it. I think they're kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost
maybe
like
they've never seen anything like that.
Right, yeah.
I think we're going to be the responsible for people having kids, like more.
I know, and I'm afraid of that.
A lot of people go like, dude,
Wow.
it makes me want to start a family. I'm like, you're crazy.
I know.
It takes a lot of work to get to this point. Not being the band, just being a family.
I mean, being a band is tough, but being a family is even tougher.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
there's times we have fights downstairs and everyone starts crying, and then we have to go
Great times.
upstairs and we'll like our joke is like the silent dinner because we'll eat at the dinner table, like no one talks.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like so upset.
We pretty
and then
much
we
don't
break
know.
it up with an episode of The Office, and everyone's okay after that.
Well, that's great.
Goodbye.
Yeah, let it go.
And some ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's
Ben and
and
Jerry's.
The Office.
The office,
Yeah.
Well, you guys just seem so cool. Like I wish I was part of your family.
Thanks.
I'll
You
play
are.
tambourine. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll play tambourine. Whatever you want me to do.
That tambourine is really popular. So many people have asked us if they can play tambourine with us.
Speaking of Eiley, you play theremin, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's how did you start playing theremin? of
Well,
all
Dad
instruments?
was on the toilet
okay, as
most-
it would start. Yeah.
as like great ideas come, and he was reading a Rolling Stones magazine, and he saw like the new theremin, like the theremin, and he was like, oh my god, we need this. He was like, Eiley, like you have to play this. So he bought it 2 weeks, I think, before we recorded our second EP, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like watched YouTube videos, and I learned how to play it, and we recorded it on our EP.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was cool, and it's really fun to play, and it's cool. So
She looks like a mad scientist when
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
playing it. I love it. I think it's awesome.
And also, it's cool too. Like sometimes when we play and there's kids in the audience, we'll invite them
Oh,
up to
yeah,
play the
that's
theremin
cool.
during
I
like a
was
song.
just
gonna
That is
say
cool.
that. Yeah,
Because it's pretty
and,
easy.
Yeah.
It's really funny. We were in Beacon, New York, and there's this kid. We know him because it's family, And this kid, he's really young. His name is Desmond, right? And we told him, for our last song, Tongue Tied, you can come up and you can play the theremin, right? And we taught him how to do it before the show. And he comes up on the theremin, and he has like the straightest face.
and he
he's
was
just
so nervous.
He was so nervous. He's just moving his hand, just like back and forth. He's just like.
Because
Yeah,
before
like a
he was so
robot.
excited, he was
Fun.
getting so pumped up, and he got up there and he was like,
Yeah, he froze. He kind of froze.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it
cute.
was cute though.
There's like there's like video of it, and he's just standing up there, just like frozen, like just straight face.
Yeah, it was pretty funny
hilarious.
looking.
There's just pictures of him just standing.
But
there.
there's
It's so
sometimes when
funny.
like I see kids rocking out like in this crowd, I'll like motion for them to come up, and then I let them play the theremin
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
turn it on and like do the setting for them, so it's easier for them to play and just let them go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun instrument to go crazy with.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Right on. So, any final thoughts for our Cigar City Radio listeners, the Tampa crowd? Any last words from Rock and Roll
final
HiFives?
Just have a good time all the time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time all the time. Rock
Yeah.
and roll. Keep rocking.
Keep rocking, you know.
Keep rocking.
Come to the show, support local music, support music
yeah.
just in general, rock and roll.
That's a good
especially,
one. Support local
know.
Yeah.
music.
or not even local, just
Support
music.
music.
Yeah.
Maybe like independent. A lot of independent labels need the support. That's my big peeve. You know, is like people love the music, they come out and then they don't buy anything, or not from just us, but from anybody.
Yeah.
And shows are free or $5 to get in, and
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot lately. There's a lot of free shows or, very inexpensive shows, and people aren't coming.
Yeah.
It's like, get off your couch, man.
yeah, come on out.
You know?
Just support that way, or support by going to a label's website and buying some records like Little Dickman Records.
Yeah, they have
Little
some
Dickman
great
Records
bands.
and putting out great music
Yeah.
and great bands, and I'm buying their records. You know what I mean? We're on the label,
I'm
and I'm
buying
just
the
like,
little-
I'm,
Jason's wearing a Little Dickman shirt. I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah,
Fruit Flowers, which
Flowers,
is great
yeah.
record. See, there's another
Shark
one.
Muffins just had a release, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we
Yes,
managed
we're-
2 Little Dickman bands.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Fruit and
Ex-Girlfriend.
Flowers and Ex-Girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So we're all
Ex-Girlfriend's
about Little
great.
Dickman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, they're
they
great
work
people,
hard.
man. Super.
Yeah, we have a
Super
joke
awesome.
with Chris.
Love
It's
them.
like whenever Dad gets on stage and he strums one chord, it's just like a bucket of water gets poured.
Yeah,
on
I
him
sweat a
'cause
lot.
he sweats. Yeah.
He sweats and Chris cries.
Chris is a big Jimmy Buffett fan.
Yeah.
And I guess nobody knows. I know.
I didn't know that.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shocking?
Maybe
I
I
always
shouldn't
thought he was
say
like
that.
a metal, like punk guy.
Dude,
you
he
know?
looks like, right?
I mean, he is, but then he's like Jimmy Buffett, Jimmy Buffett, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh man.
When I first met Chris, I was like, man, this guy's scary, dude.
Yeah,
Big beard and
yeah.
hair, and he's just like so sweet. But yeah, he's a big Jimmy Buffett fan. And last night when we were eating at the diner, there was a guy playing acoustic, and he covered a Jimmy Buffett song. And I was filming. I was like, "Oh my God, Jimmy Buffett just walked in. He's playing, he's playing his hit song, his biggest hit."
My
and he was almost
We sent it to Chris,
Yeah.
and he thought it was really Jimmy Buffett. He was freaking out, and we're like, no, it's his cousin Bobby Buffett.
Bobby Buffett, So then it
Joke.
became this joke. And by the way, that's one thing I want to say is when we are on tour, we do these trivia questions, these rock and roll trivia
Oh, yeah,
questions, and
yeah.
we make these live Facebook videos, and in there we'll come up with a question pertaining to the video.
Right on.
And we always buy something in the area we're in. So like today we'll pick up a couple of gifts from Tampa somewhere, or in Florida, and you have a chance to win a prize, man. So like
Free stuff.
tune in and you watch that. That's a pretty cool
Yeah,
thing.
where can people find you online?
Eileen,
Facebook.
Facebook, what's the name on Facebook?
Rock and Roll HiFives.
Rock and
is
Roll
it?
HiFives, and then Instagram is R&R HiFives.
And
Yeah.
just to let you know, it's not spelled high fives like high, like a pie, but like high, like hello. It's
Like
like
H-I.
fives.
F-I-V-E-S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to really work on that. I mean, we had to figure something out, man.
Work on what?
Spelling and
Yeah, people
names.
get
And,
But it just looks a lot cooler when it's spelled H-I.
it's just shorter.
See, and he's got it. It's all
shorter.
about how cool it looks.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
It is. And that's another thing too. Cool, like if you want to start a family band, maybe you should go for that cool look, man. Just put some spikes and superhero.
No.
Like
do
just
the
go.
guar
No.
thing.
Yeah, do the guar thing.
Yeah,
I think that's
Dad
fine.
wants us to get costumes so bad.
No
No,
way.
no.
Jumpsuits. Remember
No,
that?
Do
Wait.
it.
Dad can wear his cape. I don't want to wear a costume.
That's my recommendation
No.
for the next family band. Go for it all, man.
Yeah, go all the way.
And write songs about cotton candy and do it all. Cash in.
No
Do
holes
everything
barred.
we don't do.
Yeah. Everyone's like, you're cute, but your songs like rock too much or like too adult rock.
They're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
That'd
A lot
be
of
awesome.
people
A
just
family band dressed as like Guar,
Yeah.
singing about cotton candy.
See?
I think,
that's
be great.
I think we got the next big idea.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's I'll
So
sign
that's
that,
our
man.
side project. You know what? I'm starting that.
Yeah,
that's the side project.
With
No.
who?
You guys.
I'll have 2 bands.
Vita.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to have a band dinner meeting about this one.